is Jessie Lynn, and welcome to the Home Buyers Clubhouse. Have a seat, sit down on the couch, and welcome. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Jessie Lynn. I am a triangle realtor with Agency Realty. Erica, ma'am, introduce yourself, sweetie.
Hey, I am Erica Batts. I am your mortgage loan officer with New American Funding.
Awesome, y'all. Today, this show is dedicated to our sellers. We do have some sellers, and oh, girl, look at that shirt. What you got on over there? Okay, now. Okay.
Look, it's the theme music. The theme music made me feel like I want a Cabbage Patch.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, y'all, today this show is dedicated to our sellers. We have some sellers in our group, and unfortunately, a lot of people, they don't realize that everybody that calls them, that wants to buy their home, they're not agents, they are iBuyers, they are wholesalers, they are investors. So today we are dedicating this to our sellers. Sellers, come on in, have a seat, sit down. If you are thinking about selling, and if you know anybody who's thinking about selling, this show is for you today. All right, so Erica, before we get started, honey, how are you doing, sweetie? I missed you so much.
I am doing fabulous. I missed you guys here at the Home Buyers Clubhouse as well. So it's been a couple of sessions, but I am back. I'm ready to go. Ready to talk about how to get some people in some houses or out of some houses.
Yes, audience, how are y'all doing today? How are y'all doing? Drop them in the box below. I see I'm on my personal Facebook page, so I have it on my phone as well, because sometimes I don't always see the comments on this side. So anyway, we are coming in today. All right, you guys, let's talk about a wholesaler. Erica, wholesalers. You ever heard of wholesaling, ma'am, in the mortgage industry?
I have heard of wholesaling.
Okay.
So we don't deal with them too much on this particular side as far as the mortgage, but yes, I've definitely heard of those.
Yeah, so we have wholesalers that like to come in and they'll send you this letter. They'll write you a letter, say, hey, awesome person, awesome guy, we want to buy your house. And we have those investors as well. So when you get those letters, you need to find out if these people are licensed or not, because they're not always working in your best interest. And they will also tell you what's their favorite line that they like to tell people. Do you know, Erica? About the commission.
Oh, yeah, you don't even have to pay commission.
You don't have to pay commission. That's their favorite line. And they will tell you that, but at the end of the day, you're going to end up losing thousands of dollars. So what we're going to do is we're going to prepare you to get your home ready and get it sold on this in the real estate market. Whether you decide to use a real estate agent, you decide to do for sale by owners or not, all of these will work. But the biggest thing is, I want you to know the difference between a licensed person and a non-licensed person. A licensed person, a real estate agent, they are working in your best interest. If they are representing you, they are working in your best interest. So they're going to try to get you top dollar. The investors, they're working for themselves. And what they're doing is they're trying to get them top dollar. So, so just know the difference and ask those questions, because I've had a seller call me or whatever, we've been keeping a good relationship because, he's thinking about selling in the future. And he's had an investor contact him, and, he'll call and, ask questions and different things like that. I don't mind talking to him or whatever about it, but the biggest thing is they will change the date on you, honey. And sometimes, they won't give you a date. They won't put it in writing. So you definitely have to be careful with that. Okay. All right, audience, how y'all doing today? It's Fabulous Friday. What are y'all doing today? What are y'all doing this weekend? All right, Erica. So let's go, honey. Okay. The first thing you need to do is you need to price your home correctly. And what we do is we will pull something that's called comps. Erica, as a lender, do you team up with listing agents whenever they list properties?
We do. We talk about, how much they can borrow for the property, what type of property, what it qualifies for. Like certain homes may not qualify for certain types of loans. So you need to find out what kind of lending, what kind of financing options that you're able to accept, when you are selling this particular house. Like there may be some deferred maintenance that you have on the home that will make it not eligible for financing, let's say as an FHA loan.
Yes.
Or a VA loan or things like that.
Yes, yes. And that's the thing. And I've heard, I don't know if I was having this conversation with maybe one of you guys, but that comes up a lot with different loan types.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely need to know what that property qualifies for. And also, let's go back to pricing the property correctly. Don't go to Zillow for your estimates, because those estimates are wrong. A lot of the times they're either way too high or way too low. So don't go to Zillow. Again, have a professional pull comps for you. And what a comp is just basically homes that sold in that area. So they're going to pull 3 different properties that's very similar to yours. So they're not going to go and find a house that's 4,000 square feet bigger than yours and your home is only 1,000. They're going to pull comps. So pull comps that's comparable to your property. Okay. The next thing is home staging. Home staging. A lot of people think that just because it's a seller's market, they don't think that they have to home. They don't have to do staging. They don't have to do any of that. Erica, home staging. Have you ever heard of home staging?
I have.
Okay. Could you tell them what home staging is?
That's basically placing things or items in your house so that people can get a picture of what furniture is going to look like. Because a lot of times when you look at an empty room or an empty space, you can't kind of tell like, oh, okay, well, I don't know, what they had going on here. Like, just like there was one where they had this particular people had converted a dining room into a bedroom. So they had a bed in there and all of those things. But when people came to look at the house, they were really confused as to what this space was supposed to be. So once it was staged as a proper dining room, then it was like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yes, and sometimes it could definitely help you with your furniture as well, because sometimes people can't figure out how they're going to place their furniture in the room.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a professional home stager, people can come in and they can picture themselves in that property. So that's the biggest thing, and that's why we always tell people to depersonalize the property, because you can't picture yourself in somebody else's property with their photos up in there and their colors on the wall and whatever they want. You have to make that property be appealing to the seller, not to yourself, because you're leaving that property. It's no longer your home. You're trying to have someone else picture themselves in that property. If that makes sense.
I think that's why people also say, like I've heard when you're doing the staging to use like neutral colors as far as paint colors. So I've seen the colors where it looks like a box of crayons and it's like, oh, okay.
Yes, I remember one time I had that issue as well. It was a good property. I liked the property, but of course I'm not going to live there. My buyers are going to live there. And that was one of the things. They were like, I don't want that house with all those colors. Like, you can change the colors.
Right.
But unfortunately, unfortunately, people can't see past that. So definitely take the advice from your agents. I love when my clients actually take my advice, because a lot of people, they like to go on everybody else's advice and what such and such did, or what somebody did 30 years ago or 4 years ago, even 2 years ago. It has changed. Like gray has been a popular color in this market. Now you may see like these black walls, accent walls here and there. So things change all the time. So listen to your agent. Some of the things that you think that may be appealing, or some of the things that you may think that the buyer may want, we could save you some money. You don't have to go and change this entire room, or you don't have to go and do this, or you may not have to do that. So listen to your agent in the process. The next thing is choose the best day to list your home. I had a buyer yesterday. She called me or whatever, and I was telling her yesterday was Thursday. And in our market, we recommend going listing the property closer to the weekend. So we say late Thursday night, and it kind of goes into Friday. And that way it gives people some excitement about seeing your property. It hits the market overnight. It gives them some excitement. Erica, do you have a lot of contracts to go under that's pending over the weekend?
Usually most people that's when they're house shopping. So that's when they're going to pick out something is, on a weekend. So I usually get a lot of calls from a real estate agent saying, hey, can this person go on the contract, for this particular house or whatever. So those are the calls I usually get on the weekends.
Definitely. And another thing is, y'all want to do is whenever you sit down and you talk to an agent, again, whenever you talk to them, and remember, know the difference between an agent and an iBuyer. Agent is there for your best interest. iBuyer is there for theirs. Okay. They are an investor.
Sorry,
Yes.
can you talk about what an iBuyer is? Because I think a lot of people may not know what that term means.
Okay. Thank you, girl. Because see, that's okay. So an iBuyer, same thing I mentioned it earlier, is a wholesaler or an investor. An investor, what they're doing is they're buying this property for themselves as an investment property. They're buying it, they're fixing it up, or some may not even fix it up. They just may buy it from you at this price, and they may list it and sell it again at a higher price. So
Okay.
yeah, but
So
Erica,
that's going to
break
be
it down a
like
little bit more because you know.
that's going to be like your open doors, your
Mhm.
sometime, and I know Zillow also had a service at one point where they were purchasing homes. So those are going to be more your internet buyers who are trying to, buy either a block of homes, or they're some of the ones that may purchase your home so that you can then move to another house, and then that way you can still be able to use the money from your home. So a lot of
Definitely.
times that's where those things come into play.
And a good question to ask is, okay, so are you buying this house for yourself or what? And look, and one thing that they'll do is they'll go in, they'll tell you to get in there into your property. They're going to say, hey, look, we can sell your house for XYZ. And then they get there, they're going to say, no, we need to fix this. We need to fix this. We need to fix this. We need to fix
Right.
this. We need, and that commission that you thought you were saving on, all that money goes down. Okay. All right. So one thing that you want to do is you want to ask about the commission, talk to the agent about the commission, and be flexible with your home showings. You can't, and this is where we say list it on the weekend, especially if you have a house full of kids, you have a house full of pets and all of this. This is where you need to be flexible. We know some people work from home, so that's why it's a good idea to list it on the weekends, and why it's very important to be flexible.
So a
Make
couple
sense?
of other things I will say with that is, don't be at home when your buyers are trying to come in and look at the house, because they can't talk about, oh, did you see those throw pillow? They can't talk about all that with you being in the house. So don't be at home. And then also, try to take your pets with you, when you leave, whether it's cats, dogs, squirrels, whatever it is you got going on. That
Mm-hmm.
may not be something that's appealing to buyers. So you want to make it as comfortable as possible for them.
Yes, that was definitely, I think, yeah. Take your pets with you. Take your pets into the buyers when you are in that property. If you can take your pets, if not, crate them, put them in the garage or whatever. But please let the agent know that your pets are going to be there, because we don't want any surprises. And to the buyers, whenever you are going to view these properties, you don't want to be in people's houses talking about them or their house or any of that, especially if you're thinking about putting in an offer, because they have ring doorbells, they have cameras, they have different things. So you definitely don't want to go inside that property and talk about it, and then you want to put an offer. Oh my God, I love your house so much, after you just
Well,
talked all that
and
junk.
sometimes it might not be something bad that you're saying about their house. It could be that, oh, they had a four-poster bed. I would never have a four-poster bed. I don't really like four-poster bed. So it's not necessarily something bad, but it's just, you don't want to say that, and the person is sitting right there because they working from home. It's like, girl, I don't like your bed. Like, okay.
Right. But look, and that's what we always tell our buyers whenever they walk in the property as well. Like, look, let's not even talk. Let's talk about your pros and the cons and all of this. Okay, cool. But when it comes to you talking about your offer amount, your pre-approval amount, we're not going to talk about that in the house, because that right there is going to hurt your negotiations whenever it comes. Okay, so let's talk about this outside, away from the house, away from the cameras, or if there are cameras surrounding the property, I'll call you and we'll talk about this on the phone.
Right.
Like, because you don't want to hurt your negotiation. All right, so host an open house, and this is one of the biggest things when it comes to doing an open house. We always tell the owners to just make sure that presentation is everything. The first impression is what?
That's your best. That should be your best impression. They say you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Yeah, they pull up and they say, you know what? I don't even want to go in this house. So this is when you want to make sure that you're having the exterior, everything right. And I always tell people about the door. Make sure that front door is painted. If you can paint it and have it just, because we're there. We're playing with that lockbox. We're playing with those keys. We're talking. We're trying to get in. And sometimes that lockbox ain't always easy. So they have time to sit there and look at your door and look at the things around them. First impression is your only and your last impression. So again, oh, hold on. I don't got off my notes. So host an open house. Whenever you do the open house, I always tell my buyers to make sure they have some calm music, some soft music playing, some classical music, something that kind of, when you're in the store, before you know it, your cart is full because they're playing that music over here, and you just kind of shopping, and you're in a good mood. That's why I always recommend playing some music. And if it's a holiday, play some holiday music. So yeah, also bake some cookies. Food makes everybody happy. Food makes me happy. Food makes everybody happy. Okay, bake some cookies. It feels like they're at home.
Or you can light a candle. If cooking ain't really your thing, you can light a candle, but try to make it like a food smelling candle. You don't want it to be smell like lemon pledge or eucalyptus or something like that. Make it something food related.
Like what they trying to hide? What you trying to hide up in here?
Exactly.
So, yeah. Like some food, some cookies. They have them.
Look, I was gonna say, you want it to smell like cookies, even though everybody like tacos. I don't know that I want it smelling like tacos in your house when I come in here.
Definitely. And look, y'all. So, tacos, fish, all that's grease. Yeah. You can smell all that when you walk in. So yeah, definitely. So look, make sure you insist on professional photography. Look, and sometimes in this market, when we do coming soon, we don't always get professional photography. I can schedule it and we still never get out there because homes are going that fast. But still, you guys, you want your home to have the best presentation ever. So get your professional photos, at least plan for them anyway. You can't plan for these sight unseen offers, but at least insist on professional photography. Those photos tell everything. They do. A lot of people make a decision off of your property like within the first few seconds from looking at your photos. Okay. Any feedback off that?
No, I totally agree with everything you said. Professional photos generally are the difference. Just like okay, so even with this video, so I can tell the difference between your side and my side because like I'm just using a regular laptop camera. Whereas you have professional equipment. So that's why it looks different.
Okay. You're right. I have some lighting. That's right. You're right.
But that's what I'm saying, just to kind of highlight the difference in what it is. So it's not like mine is bad, but yours is better. It's a better picture.
And speaking of, that's another thing, like lighting. Let's kind of go back to these open houses. When you go out there or whatever, like you say,
change your light bulbs to the daytime light bulbs instead of like a soft white or something like that. Because that usually it's a little bit brighter and it makes people feel better. Like sunshine is supposed to make people feel better. So it makes people feel better when they're in your space. Because it's so bright and airy and all of those things.
So how does it feel when you walk into a clean house? Just clean. How does that make you feel? Because a clean house makes me happy. I'm sorry. My children can screw some junk up. They know clean up and I'll be happy when I get home. I won't even.
Well, because it's something that's off your list. Because like if you come in and the house is already clean, you're not thinking about, oh my God, I got to do the laundry. I have to do this. I think at least that's how I'm always thinking of all the things that you have to do. And it's like, oh, you know what? I was going to change out the shower curtain in the bathroom, or I got to do this, or, all of those things. And when your house is clean, it's like you come in and you can just, I can breathe. I'm good. I'm like, oh, no, I don't have to, I got an hour that I could just sit here and do nothing.
Definitely. So when the buyers walk in there as well, that's what they feel. It feels clean. So the next thing is you want to make sure you get rid of clutter because, again, that's going to open up your space. They go in these closets. They're in your closets. They're in your drawers. They're in everything because they want to see what space they have, especially in smaller spaces. Get rid of your clutter.
Go ahead and box some of your stuff up and put it in storage if you need to. Put it in your garage or whatever. Go ahead. Look, you're going to be moving anyway. Go ahead and start boxing some of that stuff up.
Definitely. A pack rat is another option that you could do. Going to put it in there, and then on moving day, you just move that thing right on with you. You don't even have to do a lot of stuff. So that's definitely a good idea. Another thing is to remove your personal items. Believe it or not, again, people are in your closets. You don't want people to get any ideas. We're not saying people are coming to your house to steal, but you don't want to have like your medications out. You don't want to have your money out. You don't want to have anything out. Get rid of your personal items.
Even when they say personal items, I mean, like pictures or, whatever it is that you have, you don't want them to make assumptions about your house based on a picture or based on any of those things.
Yes, definitely. And another thing is we already talked about removing pets. So let there be light. We just talked about that as well. Open your shades, open your blinds, turn on all your lights. We already talked about baking cookies, and listen to the feedback from the people, the best people that know, that can tell you anything about your property, or your clients, your customers, or any of those people that comes in there. So listen to the feedback of those potential buyers that's coming inside your house. Listen to them or whatever. And we already talked about playing soft music. So another benefit of hiring a real estate agent to sell your house is they can see some flaws that you can't see. They can walk. Have you ever walked into somebody's house, and it smells different, so you may have a dog in there or something, and you may not be able to smell it. But a real estate agent, they can point out some deferred maintenance that you've been looking at for the last 30 years, but you've gotten used to it.
You don't notice it, right?
Exactly. So that's why it's good to have a professional there. Another thing is we know the real estate market, and we know the contracts in this real estate market as well. There are certain disclosures. There are different things that you're going to need whenever you buy this house. And again, you have a lot of investors out there, and they are working for them. You want somebody that's going to represent you and be on your side. And we tell our buyers that as well. You want somebody that's going to represent you and that's going to be on your side. And what do you say about no representation, Erica?
Yeah, I mean, what do they say? If a person who has up there who represents himself, like in court, has a fool for a client,
right? Exactly.
You want to make sure that you have, and just like, if you're going to get a professional to service your car, you take your car to a mechanic because they're the professional in that. You're going to do the same thing with your house. You're going to let a professional represent you because, that is going to be the person that can handle it when something comes up unexpectedly. Whereas now you scrambling, trying to be like, oh, I got to go find an attorney because this thing has happened and I don't know what to do. So whereas if you had just paid that commission, you would have been fine.
Definitely. And also a real estate agent, they are going to negotiate on your behalf. And you will not have to pay a penny to use an agent's experience. You're not going to have to pay for our experience at all. A real estate agent, I can't read my handwriting, boss. They will coordinate the showings for you as well. And a real estate agent prevents transaction procrastination. So that's just basically is a lot of the times we can talk ourselves out of so much stuff. I'm dealing with that right now with a buyer seller client, and they're not sure when they want to sell. They want to buy. They want to buy, but they're not sure when they want to sell. They got things coming up that they don't want to miss. So yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing is just being a part. As if you don't have representation, and then you're trying to deal with someone that does, they're working with a lender. So because I look at how many times I talk to Jessie Lynn when we're making when we're on a deal together, it's like, I may talk to her a couple of times a week about this is happening, that's happening. But so if I then have to explain these things to you and then you still don't understand it because this is not your market, then that does make things a little bit more difficult.
Definitely. All right. So, and buyers, I know we have quite a few here in the clubhouse. Again, y'all take some of the same stuff that we gave these sellers and y'all can use it and keep an eye out for these things. Y'all can go back. Y'all can watch some of our past videos about what to do and how to, what to expect in a transaction, in a real estate transaction, because it happens. But this series right here, we definitely, like I said, I have some sellers who they've been in their homes for a while. They don't know what to do. Erica, what kind of advice can you give to our buyer seller clients, like the ones who's thinking about selling their house, but they're not quite sure what to do? Because
Well, I mean, that's when you need to have a conversation. So you need to figure out, have a conversation with your potential real estate agent to figure out, okay, how much money can you get from this house? And then you need to decide how much of that money you want to put towards your new home purchase. Because just because I get $100,000 from the sale of my house doesn't mean that I want to put all of that towards the purchase of my new house. There are also some programs out there that can, like we have a particular program that can turn you into a cash buyer to kind of help give you a little bit of leverage there. So that may be something that you can take advantage of. And then there's also just, like I said, just talking about the different kind of programs, wants versus needs, all of those things. So those are all the things that we can definitely have a conversation about.
Definitely. Can you give them some of that quick advice that we give our buyers? Like, don't buy a car right now. If you're thinking about selling, don't
make any major purchases. Don't run up your credit card. Don't and don't pay off your credit cards right now if those are the things you're thinking about until we have a conversation, because we're going to steer you and tell you these are the things that you need to do, because it could be that you're saying, oh well, I'm going to take this $5,000 I have and I'm going to pay off my car, but when I look at your credit, I see that okay, that's going to be your oldest account, so when you pay off this, I know that that's going to cause your credit score to drop. So let's not pay that off right now. Let's take that money and reallocate it somewhere else. So those are just conversations. Like I said, if you're thinking about selling and then, buying, let's at least have a conversation so that you can be informed about your particular situation.
There you go. There you have it, you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. For those of you guys, again, if you're thinking about buying or selling, y'all can go through our group, find your buyer information as well. We are on YouTube as well. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Jessie Lynn. I am a Triangle Realtor with A to Z Realty. You can reach me at 919-818-9854. Miss Erica.
Hey, and I am Erica Batts. I am your loan officer with New American Funding. You can reach me at 919-608-7916.
You guys, y'all can reach us in the clubhouse every Wednesday and every Friday. On Wednesday, we're giving something inspirational and motivational. Every Friday, we're giving you something educational. You can find us on YouTube at the Homebuyers Clubhouse. You can find us in our private group and on our page, Homebuyers Clubhouse on Facebook. You guys, I hope you have an awesome weekend. Have a safe weekend. You can also reach us at www.thehomebuyerclubhouse.com. Y'all have a safe weekend. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Bye.